It's week 4 of the Sean Diddy Combs trial.
Don't crowd, people.
And the case continues to captivate. Bloggers like Tisa Tells has been at the Manhattan Federal Courthouse every day since day one.
We are live from the Sean Diddy trial. I don't feel like
sharing unfiltered updates with her 500,000 YouTube subscribers.
Today's testimony is going to be very exciting.
Combs, the music legend turned impresario, is facing sex trafficking, prostitution, and racketeering charges. He denies the allegations. The case rocking the music industry and shocking fans, setting social media ablaze.
First day of the Diddy trial, and they already said Sean Combs is putting on.
All the defense has to do is wiggle a little bit of doubt into that jury's mind. Make the jury think, wait, something's really not adding up.
Keep him in there for all of eternity. And after eternity, keep him in there some more, because we don't need him coming out in the afterlife.
And in person, swarms of people standing online for hours just to get a seat in the courthouse that will decide the mogul's fate.
Outside court, it's a curious cast of onlookers, a combination of reporters and bloggers and the curious.
We're here for justice, but we're also here because we're a little crazy. It is 6:45 in the morning.
One of them, Tisa.
This is the real life Hunger Games. Since the beginning, I'm saying this could be a reality TV show. All the drama in the line. There are outbursts, there is fainting, there are line sitters, both professional and unprofessional line sitters. And there's even drama with that. I hope that I'm doing you guys proud.
She's known for covering buzzy topics like the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni saga.
Emails showing that Blake was plotting to cut Justin out of his own movie, the one he bought the rights to.
And the Drake-Kendrick Lamar beef.
Kendrick clowned the mess out of you. I feel like I'm adding something valuable to the conversation by giving it kind of like an eagle eyes, kind of your best friend. It literally is like pop culture's Camelot. Even if people aren't into the trial, the things that have been coming out in this, even if you don't want to care, you're like, wait, what happened?
Taking the stand today, Bryana, Bana, Bongolan, an aspiring fashion designer who had created cover art for some of Combs' ex, Cassie Ventura's, albums. Last year, Bongolan filed a $10 million civil lawsuit against Combs, alleging sexual battery and gender-based violence, allegations Combs denies. She says that Combs dangled her from a 17-story balcony in 2016 and that Combs gained entry into Ventura's apartment, grabbed Bongolan, and fondled her chest. She says he then lifted her on the banister of that balcony. Allegedly seen in this photo included in her complaint. In court saying, for a split second, I was thinking about if I was going to fall. But for the most part, he was yelling at me, so I was trying to answer him. He kept repeating like, you know what the you did. Another image showing the table Combs allegedly slammed her into. The prosecution asking, sitting here today, do you have any idea what he was talking about? Bongolan answering, still have no idea.
The jury saw pictures of the bruise on her leg with a puncture wound in the middle of it, and they also saw a picture of her back all bandaged up. Her testimony may help prosecutors convince the jury that this is why Cassie Ventura felt coerced into sexual activity she said she did not want, because the prosecutor's theory may go, she saw what Combs was capable of, the kind of violence.
Bongolan also recalled another instance before the premiere of The Perfect Match when Ventura FaceTimed her. This photo ahead of the event showing Ventura wearing sunglasses, something she previously testified she would wear to hide bruised eyes. She just panned from one side of her face to the other. The prosecution questioned, what did you see when Cassie panned from one side of her face to the other? Her black eye. I was a little quiet, and I remember saying, I'm sorry. Just 2 days earlier, that graphic scene of Combs assaulting Ventura as she attempted to escape, caught on hotel surveillance footage.
Bryana Bongolan, she remembered Combs threatening her, you know I could kill you, and also came into an apartment and hurled a knife, she said, at Cassie Ventura. On cross-examination, the defense really questioned whether this happened because Bongolan testified she couldn't remember exactly where it happened, exactly when Combs came into the apartment, where he got the knife.
She was pivotal because it reminded us that, you know, this isn't just a jealous boyfriend, but also she really just showed how credible she was. And I think the defense really had a tough time, and I think they thought this would be another victory lap, and it just wasn't. So I think that her testimony shows not only the cruelty, but also the way that they tried to pay her off.
Through the weeks of testimony, one man has loomed large, even as he remains locked up in a prison more than 2,500 miles away. His name mentioned more than 50 times in trial, viewed by many as Combs' chief competitor, Death Row Records founder Suge Knight. His label, known for iconic songs like California Love. Knight is speaking out from behind bars where he's serving a 28-year sentence for a fatal hit and run. Knight telling ABC News Combs' sexual appetites were an open secret beginning in the 1990s.
Everybody knew that Puffy didn't just pop in the industry and say, hey, I want to have sex with everybody.
The so-called rivalry between Combs and Knight, notoriously marked by the shooting deaths of Biggie Smalls and Knight's artist, Tupac Shakur. It's come up at trial. Capricorn Clark became Combs' assistant after working for Knight and testified that on her first day, Combs took her to Central Park. He told me he didn't know that I had anything to do with Suge Knight, and if anything happened, he would have to kill me.
A lot of people might say, well, Capricorn could have did anything else she wanted to do. She did try. If you go get a job at Universal and probably make a phone call, you're not getting that job. If you go get a job at a talent agency or in the movie business and Puffy make that call, your career is over.
Knight recalled Clark telling him she had been warned by another record executive not to tell on Puffy and that she was allegedly paid for her silence.
Suge Knight and Diddy have biblical beef, and just because he is in jail does not mean he has stopped it. Just because Suge Knight obviously is not a fan of Diddy does not mean that he doesn't know a lot. He's almost like he's an evil villain Encyclopedia Britannica of who, what, where, when, and why.
Knight expressed some sympathy for Combs.
I don't feel that they should take Puffy and lock him up and throw away the key. I think he can do so much good right now. Him telling the truth about the industry.
The trial is expected to go several more weeks.
There's also this open question whether Sean Combs himself testifies in his own defense. The defense has asked the judge for extra time with Combs to review exhibits, perhaps also to prepare him for eventual testimony if he so chooses.
If convicted on all charges, Combs faces a maximum sentence of life in prison.
How will it end? We'll have to see it. I think the prosecution has proven their case, but there is that wild card because you only need one person to say, I don't care. This is what it is.